Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. That's better. Now we can see what we're doing. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I'm so excited you're joining me tonight. It has been 2 weeks since my last live because I was in Utah. Sorry I'm running a little late tonight. I feel like I'm always running late. I'm just trying to always catch up, stay on top of things, and sometimes it's just hard. But I have prepared some projects to share with you tonight, and I'm really excited about them. Tonight, I'm focusing on stuff that's on the last chance list. The January through June mini catalog is on its way out because there's a brand new catalog starting July 1st. You may have seen some sneak peeks, and I'm working on my own unboxing video to show you some of the new things that are coming out in the next mini catalog. But until then, we have some awesome deals from the January through June catalog. We have some things, about 30 items that are up to 50% off. Some really amazing deals. And you can get these while supplies last until June 30th. Now, I do have a list of all the things that are retiring. The yellow ones are the ones that are on sale, and the pink ones are the ones that have already sold out. Most of the things that have sold out are stamp sets, and those from the annual catalog were the first things to sell out. So if you've been eyeing any of the stamp sets on the last chance list, do not wait. Make sure that you get them right away because you don't want to miss out. And I expect the stamp sets to sell pretty quickly. So I just checked again right before I came live, and I think I got them all. So there's just a few so far, but don't wait. Don't wait because you'll be sad. The last chance deals, though, I think they got plenty of these. That's why they're marked down. And there are even some stamp sets on here. Like last week, I shared a card with, or the week before, with the Kite Delight stamp set. Look at that price. That's awesome. So tonight we're going to start with, I think we're going to start with these Slim Saying dies. This is a really kind of big die set. I feel like I don't even know where I'm at. Oh, on the floor. Okay, this die set comes with two big dies. Well, four. Two big ones and then two border ones. And these are for making slimline cards, which are 3.5 by 8.5 inches finished size. So that's bigger than a regular card. Like there's a regular card, and you can see this die is almost twice as big. So because these dies are so big, the die set is so expensive, $59 for this set of dies, but right now they're 50% off while supplies last. So if you've been thinking about this one, but the price has kind of been keeping you away, now's the time, 50% off to get those. So I've been wanting to case this card from the catalog. So we're going to start with this one. I really love the colors here. So saffron, blushing bride, and a little bit of calypso coral. I'm going to be using the Slim Saying stamp sets for the saying you are one of a kind, and then the hand penned petals for the flowers in the background. So I have not made this one. I've got everything prepped. Hopefully it'll go exactly as it is in my head. But that's not always the case, so I guess we'll see. I'm going to get that on a block. We're using the big one there. This is in the annual catalog, the hand-penned petals, and it did carry over, so if you haven't gotten it yet and you like the style, it's still available. This is one of those two-step stamps where you stamp the outline, and then you can stamp the color inside to color it all in. But we're just going to do the outline tonight in basic gray, and then we're also going to do You're One of a Kind. Now, you probably recognize the stamp set because I think I used it for several cards in my last live. The Congrats to the Graduate. We also used the You Really Are Fabulous. So tonight we're going to use the You Are One of a Kind, and this is going to retire, this Slim Saying stamp set. So if you don't have this one yet, then make sure that you get that before it goes away. I'm just double checking my list because yeah, it is definitely retiring. So the dies are on sale, so you don't want to get the bundle. You want to get them separately because of the sale price. So let's dig in. I've done some pre-cutting here to kind of make this card go faster. And I took 3 different pieces in 3 colors, white, so saffron, and the blushing bride. And these pieces are 3¼ inch by 8¼ inch. So just a 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. I also have a blushing bride card base that is 8.5 by 7 and then scored at 3.5. So this is going to be our Slimline card. And when we put this on here, it will just center on there perfectly. Now, one thing that I did to make it easier to work with the pieces tonight is I used some of the adhesive sheets and I applied it to the cardstock before I did the die cutting. Let me move some of these pieces out of the way. The adhesive sheets are 6 inches by 12 inches, and my piece was 3 1/4, but I wanted to be able to get 2 pieces out of it. So I used 3 inches on the adhesive sheet. So it doesn't quite go all the way, but I'll be able to maximize my adhesive sheet that way. Now this comes in, it's kind of broken down into pieces. So I'm just gonna peel that off and put it on the back side of the cardstock. I did leave a little bit of room on the edge because I told you it's a little bit smaller. So then this other piece, and you can leave a little bit of room there too. Mostly it's just going to help us to have adhesive already spread on the whole thing. Now I showed this to you and I'll have to die cut that later, but I just ran it through with the die, and I did the same thing with the other colors, the Blushing Bride and the So Saffron, and I tried to keep these on the cutting plate because, oh, that one worked a lot better. This one just all came apart. You kind of want to keep these in order so you don't have to puzzle piece it back together. So my yellow is a little less together. We'll see. We'll make do as we can. But this is the die that you're going to send it through with. Just double checking on the card, my inspiration card. I'm trying to remember if it goes up or down, and I realized it could go either way. It looks like up. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking that adhesive liner off, looking for those edges, and I'm going to add the frame to the card base. Okay, so as you guys probably know, I just got back from Utah. I took a trip out there for a demonstrator retreat. So I was gone last week, which is why we didn't have a live. And I would love to know, do you have any summer travel plans? Are you guys going anywhere this summer? Leave a comment and let me know. So Utah was wonderful. It was very, very warm. Maybe a little bit too warm for me, but I did have a wonderful time visiting with some stamping friends and just sort of having some rest and relaxation. One of my favorite things to do out in St. George is to go to Tuacahn Amphitheater, which is an outdoor amphitheater with the red rock in the background. It's so beautiful. We saw Mary Poppins and it was an amazing production. I was just floored with how awesome it was. So that's one of my favorite things. I love going to the theater. It's something I don't get to do very often, and especially recently with COVID, I haven't been to the theater in a long time, the movie theater or the regular theater. So it was a treat, and I loved being outside to do it. Okay, now it might have been smart if I had just done part at a time and then put it down, but I just went for it and I took the adhesive off all of it. So I'm just going to kind of carefully lay this down and press as I go. I think it's going to work out okay. I love that the adhesive is on the entire thing, so I don't have to worry about trying to add the adhesive and getting every little corner to stay down, because even those little skinny strips are all set with glue. Okay, so there is our outline. Next up, I'm going to add the pieces. And I love the pattern that's in the sample, so I'm just going to kind of stick with that. So the pattern that they did, oh, I just realized I did this upside down. Well, it doesn't matter. I wanted it to be like this, but it's going to be, I didn't even check too. Okay. So I need to move this upside down and this. I'm not sure if you can still hear me. Hopefully we're back on. I hope we don't have these kind of difficulties all night. Well, especially with this card, this is very tedious. So I'm going to keep going. I know with the video hiccup, I'm going to keep going, and I'm alternating. So I'm going to do yellow, pink, and then the next step is going to be 2 yellows in a row. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, that's that one. So then this one, and it's kind of a mess over there. In fact, it might be easier if I match them all up and I'm going to do it as I go. Okay, so this pattern is yellow, pink, yellow, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, pink. So it's like A, B, A, B. Anyway, every other and then a double and then every other and then a double of the other color. So hopefully that makes sense. I just love that it was mixed up a little bit and it wasn't like exactly, you know, A, B, A, B. So we're gonna stick with that. I'm just copying that pattern right from the catalog. I thought this would be pretty in so many different colors. Again, I just used exactly the same colors that were in the catalog, but I thought this would be really pretty in blues or some really like bright summer colors. So leave a comment and let me know if you are making this card, what kind of colors would you use to make it? Let's see. Okay, yellow, yellow. Then we're going to do, I'm trying to take them in order. And then I can cut another one and do the opposite with the other pieces that are left. So I can make 2 cards with all of these die cuts. Okay, so pink. And then my yellow is such a mess. Let's see if I can get it. That is that one. So then this would be next. Ooh, Tony says parakeet party and polished pink. That would be so bright. I love it though. A very summery card. Oh, Tracy says the new in colors. I think that would be really pretty too. Okay, next up we're going to do 2 pinks. Okay, so I'm just going to peel those off. We're going to put them on. I've been working since I got back. I got back Monday night and Tuesday and all day today. I've been working on thank you cards and bonus project kits for everybody who ordered in May. So it's just been like crazy, crazy catch up. And I just feel like, it's just been so busy, which is pretty typical. It's always crazy like that. All right, let's see. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so next up we're going to do yellow and then pink and then yellow, yellow. So hopefully you guys can see this pattern emerging with the every other A, B, A, whatever. A, B, A, B, A, B, B. Okay, so we had yellow, pink, yellow, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, pink, yellow, pink, and then we'll do yellow, yellow. Do you guys have these dies? These are the slim card dies, and they are retiring and they're half off. So if you haven't gotten them yet, but you've been thinking about it, now is the time. That one goes right there. I debated on whether or not to stamp before or after I cut, because the stamp kind of carries over to the different lines. So I'm planning to stamp afterwards, and I hope that it works out, because otherwise that'll be kind of embarrassing, won't it? Okay, so I think we want to do pink. And then I'm going to do pink there as well. This little one, so tricky. Evis is not a fan of the Slimline. They are kind of really big, and I sometimes find that the different card size is overwhelming. Like, I don't know why, but something that's so big, I feel like I'm not sure kind of how to lay it out. So I totally understand that. Now, the Slimline cards, we do have some envelopes that fit that size, but you can also use just a regular business size envelope to send a Slimline card. So if you're experimenting with that size, they will fit in a regular business envelope. I don't know what size that is. I always get them mixed up. Like the A2, A4. like a little envelope guide. Okay, that was our last little piece, and having the adhesive sheet on the back made it so easy to place those. So I've got some leftover pieces of both the pink and the yellow, and I'll save those for another card. Just gonna set them behind me. Let's clean up our little mess real quick. So next up, we're gonna do some stamping. And like I said, hopefully this will work the way that it is in my head. we're using the basic gray, which I love is a nice dark color, but it's not as dark as black. So I feel like it's crazy to say softer dark color, but it is a softer dark color. So I'm going to do one up here. Oh, I love that. Yes. And then I'm going to do another kind of down in the corner. Oh, that is so pretty. I really love the way that turned out. Okay, next up, we're going to stamp the You Are One of a Kind. And we're doing this on a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. We're going to do some heat embossing. And I'm really excited. Let me show you guys. There's a new embossing toolkit that's coming out in the July through December mini catalog. This will be available starting July 1st for everybody. If you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order right now. It includes an embossing buddy and a little paintbrush. And we were just talking about these reverse tweezers where you can hold onto something and you don't need to have that constant pressure and it holds it automatically. And then also in this kit is the tray. So you don't have to use your coffee liner anymore. You can use the tray and then you can brush all that embossing powder back into the jar. I'm really excited about this embossing kit. For today, I am going to use my coffee filter because I don't want to get it dirty. I know it sounds so silly. I'm going to do an unboxing video in the next 24 hours. And so I want to keep it nice and clean. I'm starting by stamping. Oh, we want to use the embossing buddy first. So the embossing buddy just kind of takes care of all getting rid of any extra oil from your fingers or any extra ink or other kind of dust that may be interfering with the embossing powder sticking to the stamped image. So I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. And I'm using some white embossing powder. Now it doesn't matter if it's straight because we're actually going to cut these words apart. And so we can cut, they are going to be maybe a little bit crooked, but whatever. We are just going to tap off all the extra powder and see how well that embossing buddy works. It doesn't stick to any of the other cardstock around the stamped image. This is then going to funnel right back into the jar. Doot, doot, doot. And we're going to close that back up. All right, once you do the Versamark and the Versamark and the powder, we're going to heat it with the heat tool. So I'm just turning that on, and this is going to melt the powder. And you can use those tweezers to hold your cardstock so that you don't burn your fingers. This one is kind of long, so it's okay. Just keep moving. You can kind of see that powder starting to turn and it gets darker. It looks very dull. And then it heats and it kind of gets darker and looks a little bit shiny. So you just want to heat it until it gets dark and shiny. You don't need to heat after that. It should not bubble or anything crazy like that. I love the way that white embossing looks on the cardstock. I'm going to use my big scissors. Some of you call these the ribbon scissors, but these are called craft and paper scissors. I like them because they have a nice long blade. It drives my mom crazy. And if it drives you crazy too, just turn away. Just avert your eyes for a minute. Yeah, I'll be done shortly. I'm just going to cut apart these words. And that's what we're going to use on the card. We're going to have them kind of cut apart. And so if it's not perfect, it's okay. It's just the look. So these are going to go on the card. You are, and we definitely need some Stampin' Dimensionals under these. Oh, I love that. I love that. You could just put on a single piece of cardstock, but I love that you can kind of see the colors and the stamped image under that. Doesn't that look nice? So let's add that on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Some of these pieces are so small, you can probably just get away with one. But I'm going to overkill it. It is helpful for you to put all your pieces down to get an idea of spacing before you start using the Stampin' Dimensionals. That will prevent any unnecessary tear-off. And this might be a card where I don't need to tear anything off. That is going to be a rare thing indeed. You are one of a kind. Oh, I love this. This card is one of a kind too, because its sister card will have a different pattern, so it won't be exactly the same. You are one of a kind. And then I have another piece of white that is the same size. It is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I'm going to use the same stamp on the inside. I always like to have a little something on the inside. Sometimes I forget. I'm just going to turn this over. And there's our gray ink. Let's just stamp that there at the bottom. We'll leave lots of room for a fun message. And if you want to, you could go back with the 2-step stamps and add some color. You know what? I think I might do that. Let's take a minute. We're going to use the coordinating colors, So Saffron. Throw in a little pear pizzazz for the leaves and some Blushing Bride. Let's get our stamp set. Where did it go? Right here. The hand-penned petals. So we're going to need for this one the 2 and this one and that one and that one and that one. So these are all the two-step pieces, and we're just going to add those to our blacks. I love this stamp set. If you haven't seen it yet in action, it is really kind of fun. I love just doing 2-step. So let's see. We have some great colors on here with the pink and the yellow. And so I'm going to do, you know what? I think maybe a little Calypso Coral as well. Okay, so I'm going to do, the biggest flower is going to be pink. Okay, so that's going to be this one here. Whew, look at that. And then we're going to do the next biggest one in yellow. And we're going to do one here and one here. And the thing about this stamp set is they don't line up perfectly, which I love, because then you don't have to worry about being just perfectly inside the lines. I'm going to do the small flowers in the Calypso Coral. So those are going to go there and there. And lastly, we're going to fill in with some green for the leaves. So we've got 2 different sizes for the leaves. We've got the big one, and then we've got the small one. And again, they don't necessarily match perfectly, but look at that. Look at how fast and easy that was. I just love these 2-step stamp sets. So there's the colors that we used again. These are all in the settles: Calypso Coral, Blushing Bride, So Saffron, and some Pear Pizzazz. And again, that was the hand-penned petals stamp set, along with the slim sayings for the sentiment. Oh, you know what? We should put the sentiment in here. So you are one of a kind. And then on the inside, you really are fabulous. Oh, that's perfect. Boop. And I think perhaps, well, you know what? This card base is Blushing Bride. Nope, I don't know. I think definitely the Calypso Coral. I was gonna say Blushing Bride for the sentiment, but I think since the sentiment on the front is Calypso Coral, I think that goes really well. Oh, so beautiful. I missed a leaf. You're right. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I would have noticed like later on when I had everything put away. I did miss that little leaf. Thank you, Tony. Okay, what do you guys think? Doesn't that turn out cute? Let's glue this down on the inside. And we'll be all done with our card. Now this definitely is more of a fussy card with lots of fussy placement of everything. And so if this is not your style, I totally understand. The next card is going to be much simpler, but I had to give this a try. Let me show you again in the catalog. I really pretty much cased this one exactly as it is in the catalog there on page 52 of the January through June 2022 mini catalog. I like it even better in person. Okay. So our next card, I'm kind of going a little bit more on the simple side. Made quite a mess. Some of my favorite things that are retiring are the Abstract Beauty ephemera pack and the paper and the cards and like that whole suite. Let me show you in the catalog this suite. This is something that I honestly have felt so intimidated by, and I really haven't used as much as I thought that I would. I don't know, like the stamp set and the shapes really kind of threw me off, but I love the bright colors in here. The ephemera pack, I will warn you, the ephemera pack is kind of small. It is, let's see, like 4 7/8 inch by 8 1/4. But what I mean by small is that there is only one sheet of each pattern. And so I feel like that's it's kind of small, right? Like there's not a lot in there. So I have sort of hesitated to promote it and to use it because I feel like there's not much in there. The original price was $6.50, but now it's on sale. And I think it's let's take a look really quick. $4.55. So it's $2 off the original price. The other thing I know you guys probably thought was really pricey is the Abstract Beauty 4x6 specialty paper. This is a specialty paper, so there is gold on all of the sheets. So you have that gold foil. You get 4 sheets each of 12 different patterns, so 48, but you'll notice this size is a little bit different. The size is 4x6. And so this package of designer paper is $15 regular price, but during the last chance sale, it's 50% off. So it's $7.50. So if you've been eyeing this beautiful paper and it's something that you would like to get more of, now's the time to get it while supplies last. 50% off. Now, the other thing that I brought out is the cards and envelopes. And these are also 50% off. The Abstract Beauty cards and envelopes comes with 10 different cards. Every single card is different. It has a watercolor background. Is that a duplicate? No. There's a pink, and then there's yellow and blue. Every single one of the 10 cards is different. Sometimes similar patterns, but in different colors. So you can make 10 different unique cards. The envelopes are all different as well. So I thought I would make a quick card using the cards and the ephemera pack. I'm actually not going to use the designer paper this time, but I did want to show you a card that I made for my team members. I send out special gifts to my top sales achievers. And so in April, or for April, I sent out a package of the designer paper and the ephemera pack to everyone who had $1,000 in sales or more. And I made, everybody had a different card. I used a different designer paper. I die cut some hexagons from the Coordinating Hello Beautiful stamp set in amazing shape dies. Beautiful shapes. And then I did a little stamping and I used some of the ephemera pack here. And then on the inside, I did some stamping. So this is a similar card that I showed in Sunday Stamping a few weeks ago. We showed the He's the Man suite. And so the card base is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. or 6 3/4 and score it at 5 1/2 so that there's a little lip of cardstock. And then the designer paper is 4 by 5 1/4. And it just sticks right underneath that lip. So you see the inside, you see the paper, and the outside you see the paper. And then I added a 1 by 4 piece up here. So these are all die cut from this, and then again the ephemera pack and the stamps. I just love the way these cards turned out, and I sent them all out, so I don't have all of them to show you, but watch my Facebook stories tomorrow. I'll post a video that shows all of the cards so you can see how all the different designs turned out. So I used up quite a bit of my ephemera pack to make all of those cards with the designer paper. So tonight I'm just going to use some of the leftover pieces and a card to make a quick card. So the last card was kind of fussy. This card is a little bit more easy. So if you like something easy, if you're looking for a gift for a teenager, I feel like some of these cards and the ephemera pack, you know, and maybe the stamp set or another set with some greetings is a great way to allow them to have some creativity, some freedom to kind of design and make their own cards. I did have one. Oh, you know, I think I sent that one already. I was gonna say, I think in another video I designed something. I really love like the way that one turned out. This is one of the cards. And then I added some embellishments. So let's just kind of see where we go with this. I'm going to move this to the side, and we're going to pick out a card base and then add some die cuts. One of the things that I haven't used yet are the frames. I love these kind of gold stripe frames. And so I want to use one of those. And then I also really love I love these leaves and like the little posy. I don't know if I want to use 2 leaves or just 1. And oh, this one too, the talk window. I thought that would be really cute. So those are the pieces I think I want to use. And now I just have to decide which card base to put them on. I really love this one with the smaller watercolor bit. Oh, that's pretty too. So we've got pink, yellow, and navy. And then the balmy blue. And then these are all kind of a solid card base with different colors. So what do you guys think? Should I use a solid card base? Or should I use one of the smaller ones? Let's kind of just have a look and see. Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. I'm so bad about keeping up with the comments sometimes, guys, and I apologize. I just get so busy and wrapped up into crafting that sometimes I forget to take a look. Okay, so tell me what you think. I don't know if I like that. Hi, Susan. We're working on card 2, and we have another one to go after that, so you're not too late yet. The other thing in here, there are some fun like vellum pieces with the gold printing like this. I think this is a fun leaf to add a little bit. I sort of like the contrast of the blue and the background. I know Tony said she liked the one that I was working on before. I don't know, is that too matchy? Or the lighter watercolor blue. I love how easy it can be to just kind of layer pieces together. Yes, I know, Susan. I haven't really played much with this one as well. It does have so much potential, and I don't know. I feel like the catalog period went so fast. Molly, the Great Big Card Swap is this coming Tuesday, the 14th, and I will be showcasing all the cards on the 14th and the 28th of this month in June. Our theme in June is Case Julie. So if you want to send in a card for the Great Big Card Swap, it's not too late. If it doesn't come in time for Tuesday, I'm sure it'll come in plenty of time for the following showcase. And then the theme for July is birthday. And you can also send cards right now for Winnie's birthday. If you want to send Winnie a birthday greeting. She just celebrated her 100th birthday. How incredible is that? And so we're going to send her a bunch of cards for her birthday. So if you want to send one in to wish Winnie a happy birthday, you can send those in by the end of June. I'll wait until the first week of July and then send those cards on to her. Oh, there's just so many different possibilities. That's always my problem, is trying to figure out how to narrow it down. I'm seeing several of you say the light blue watercolor. So let's work with that. So I'm going to, oh boy, I think I'm going to do regular adhesive on the back of the frame, and then we'll use some Stampin' Dimensionals on some of the other pieces. Just a real light layer of the liquid glue to put this on. It's tempting, isn't it? I'm going to kind of go right. I keep wanting to go off center a little bit, because I love the edges of the watercolor. I'm going to go off center just a little. Oh, what do you think of that? I don't know. I don't know. Let's kind of stick with our original plan. So I'm going to use dimensional underneath the flower, and then some regular glue under the leaves. Everything is sticking together. Deanna, Minnie is somebody who participates in the Great Big Card Swap and sends in cards, and she just turned 100, and she sent in a picture from her birthday. And so she is, to my knowledge, our oldest swapper as part of the Great Big Card Swap. And so we just wanted to celebrate her amazing milestone with some extra cards. So if you're interested in celebrating Winnie, an amazing stamper and swapper, with us, we would love for you to send in those cards. Okay, what should this card say? We've got some options in the Hello Beautiful. I'm kind of digging the one that says this calls for a celebration, and I think it'll fit. It's kind of close, isn't it? I love that one because I feel like it could be for so many different occasions. I also like Hello Beautiful. And I haven't used that one yet, so let's use that one. Now, of course, if you didn't have the stamp set, you could substitute and use any stamps that you have at home with this ephemera pack. Color-wise, I'm really feeling like we want to use that color blue, and I'm pretty sure that blue is Misty Moonlight, which I still have. Now, if you don't have Misty Moonlight and you're using this, you can use Night of Navy and then stamp off before you stamp on your project. Cards for Winnie for her birthday can be sent to me, and then I will forward them on. I want to respect Winnie's privacy, and I'm not sharing her address. Let me grab out, here's the address for for the Great Big Card Swap. So you can send cards, just label the envelope Winnie, and I won't open the cards. So I'm just going to forward them on to Winnie, so they will not be shown on camera. So you can send your cards. You can still put my name on it, but somewhere on the envelope write Winnie, or put Winnie in care of Julie Davison. P.O. Box 6164, Champaign, Illinois 61826. This is also the same address for the Great Big Card Swap. So if you want to send in another birthday card for the July birthday card swap or Great Big Card Swap, you can label your envelope July, and I'll know to hold it for July. Our June theme is Case Julie. So you can go to my blog at juliedavison.com. I've got 13 years of card ideas shared there. You can search by stamp set. You can search by, tutorial if you want to make a fun fold card or try a technique, or you can just kind of browse and look at cards from the last few years and pick out one that you like and then copy it or change it, somehow be inspired by it. When you send in your cards for the June Great Big Card Swap, please let me know what card, what date you were inspired by, so I can go back to the blog and print out the page so everybody can see where your inspiration was. Okay, our card is coming along beautifully. We're going to add this with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and this is going to be our super quick card for the night. Oh, I love that. I almost feel like it needs a little more gold, a little more bling. First of all, do we like this one? Do we want to take that out? I shouldn't be pulling apart a simple card, but let's take a quick pull. I don't know how I feel. I feel like that's too big. Tell me what you think about the gold, or maybe just part of it. There, that's better. Oh, I just lost it. I'll add a little more glue to that, make it stick. So I just tore this a little bit in half so that it wasn't so big and bulky. But let's look back at our ephemera pack, because I think we have some fun stars in here. So I want to add just a couple of these stars that are like gold, the gold on vellum. Let's just add, we'll grab a big one and a little one, just to give it a little bit more. You could also add some of like the hexagons or other, like embellishment shapes. And then these are going to go back in there too. We'll save those for another project. Okay. Is that too much? I kind of like it. We've got our cards, and then there's coordinating envelopes too, so we can pick out an envelope to send this in. I think either one of these with the blue or the green would be perfect to send that card. Let's go with the blue. Okay, there was card number 2. So we did something that was really fussy, and we did something that was really simple. And next, we're going to do something kind of in the middle. So again, looking back at the last chance list, I wanted to focus on some of my favorite things that were on special. And as I was looking through the catalog for inspiration, one of the things that I thought was really awesome is the Crane of Fortune suite. I'm missing a sheet. Oh, there it is. It's double-sided. The Crane of Fortune suite, Symbols of Fortune, because the designer paper and the specialty paper and the dies are all on sale. So let me show you this Crane of Fortune suite. Did I mark it? Oh, I hope I did. This is one I think that didn't really get a lot of attention. Okay, here it is in the back. This card is my inspiration. we're going to kind of substitute it and make it our own. But I want to show you this on page 24. So unfortunately, the Crane of Fortune stamp set is one that has already sold out. So this stamp set has sold out. However, the designer paper and the mother of pearl paper and the polished dots and the dies and the ribbon are all still available. In fact, the ribbon carries over to the annual catalog, but everything else is retiring and everything else is on sale. The polished dots, the mother of pearl designer paper, the symbols of fortune designer paper, and those good fortune dies, 50% off there. So we're going to make a card tonight using some of those leftover pieces. And then I'm going to show you, well, let me show you those other samples first. So here's one. I actually stamped this one, but I just love that layout. I copied it from the catalog. You might remember that from a few months ago. And here's another card. I shared this one. This is the step panel card, and you can see a little bit of that mother of pearl paper. This is actually die cut with the dies from the designer paper. So these are the only stamps I used on the card. You can add a panel back there to write on. I guess I use the stamps down there too. But just such beautiful paper. Let me show you a little close up the paper and the paper and the mother of pearl. So I don't really have good pieces to show you, but the colors here are so gorgeous. Soft succulent. And then we've got a lot of like smoky slate, gray granite with the, look at the golds. The gold foil. This is a specialty paper. So you're going to see a lot of the gold foil. And let's just get out some of these pieces to show you. This paper is really beautiful. And so now is a good time to get some of these last chance papers. Maybe you were thinking about it before, but you weren't sure. And now these prices are like 50% off. So this 12 by 12 paper is $7.50. And it is just so very special. And then the mother of pearl comes in a package by itself. It comes in 12 by 12. You get 2 sheets, and it's on sale for $4.20. This reminds me of those countertops, right? Like the old vintage countertops. I just love that, like, iridescent kind of shimmer shine. And this paper is just so fun. Here's the paper where I die cut that flower. So just gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Oh, look at that one. Oh my goodness. What do you guys think of this paper? Is this something that has caught your eye or maybe not? Leave a comment and let me know, yay or nay. Are you a fan of the Crane of Fortune suite? This is the Symbols of Fortune designer paper, and then this mother of pearl paper is really something special. So I've got some pieces pre-cut, and we're going to make a quick card. And I did use the dies a little bit in my preparation. So, as I said, the dies do cut out. We have the Crane, which die cuts the stamp image, but this one cuts out the stamp flower, but also the flower from the designer paper. So I cut out this detailed die with the flower. And then while I was getting that ready, I noticed that the dragonfly die also cuts out the dragonflies from the designer paper. Isn't that fun? So I just lined up that die with the designer paper and cut those out. So we're going to use those on our card. And I'm going to do a little fussy cutting for you because this crane, since the stamp set is all sold out, I'm going to I'm going to fussy cut the crane from the designer paper. So I'm just using my scissors. It is a little bit hard to see because it is white on a sort of gray granite, light gray kind of background color. So I don't know how well you can see on camera, but I can see just enough to cut this out. So beautiful. That's one thing I love about our designer paper. Sometimes we have these really great images where you don't have to have the stamp set. You can cut images out from the designer paper and still create some really beautiful pieces of paper crafting art. Whenever I do fussy cutting like this, I always move the designer paper or move the cardstock. I keep my scissors kind of steady and I just move that paper around to get around the image. Okay, so there's that. There's some other detailed images in here as well. Don't want to lose the dragonflies. Okay, so we're going to come back here to our card. I have a Calypso Coral card base, and I did cut out a piece of that designer paper. I really loved that pattern. And then I have some of the Mother of Pearl. Oh, I just think that's so beautiful. So I'm going to have the crane kind of over here and the flower like this. Oh, I guess I didn't need both of those. They're the same crane. And then some of these little dragonflies I'm going to put up here. And so the only thing we need then is a little strip with a sentiment. I don't know if I'm digging this pink paper though. Maybe we should switch it up and use a different pattern. What do you guys think of this one? Or would you like to see a different pattern? Oh, I'm kind of thinking maybe the clouds would be nice. Looking at some other patterns, that's a little too gray. This one is more of like a crumb cake, but again, I think that's a little too monochromatic. Yes, Kathy says she's used this stamp set and designer paper a lot. It really is just so beautiful. I like this sentiment. So I'm using the words from the hand pen petals. We used that on the first card that we made, but I don't have any stamps to go with this designer paper yet. So this one says anything is possible. And I think that is perfect for this card. So I'm going to stamp that on a piece of white, and we'll just do like a skinny strip of it to go across the card. What are you guys thinking about the designer paper? So Tony says she likes the one with the clouds. And Sharon says try a different pattern. Let's cut that cloud paper and see what we think. We're going to do white for the sentiment. And while I've got the paper cutter out, let's go ahead and cut a piece of this one. And for this, I'm going to do 3 inches by, let's go 3 by 4 3/4. Maybe that's too small. Whoops, I think it is. Let's try it again. 3 inches. We just cut the head off that bird. Oh my gosh. I just cut the head off that bird. Oops. Oh my gosh. 5 inches, I think, is what I wanted. It kind of looks like the head is still on there, maybe? Okay, let's see what we think about this pattern. I guess the next question then is, do we want to change the card base color and do something that is, because right now there's no other coral. Maybe we want to do like the dark gray, like a basic gray. And this is going to be the sentiment. And then oh my gosh, our goose is a little distracting, isn't it? That's not really the best placement for, not a goose, it's a crane. You know what I mean? What about that one? Is that too busy? That's a little busy, isn't it? I'm going to see if I have another piece so I can better cut the, yeah, let's just try to cut that piece a little better. And I am going to try, I'm going to try to strategically put him in the corner, but then the dragonflies are going to look really big. That's okay. Basic gray. I have some pre-cut card bases. Tell me what you think about basic gray. I think I prefer the contrast here. What do you think? Alternatively, we could try the green, which is the green is soft succulent, which is this color. Okay, this or that, basic gray or soft succulent. We have our, oh my gosh, don't let me forget, I have some mail call to share with you. I almost forgot, but I just saw them over here on the side. So we'll do that next. And if I forget, then holler at me. What happened to our basic gray ink pad? Is it still on the table? Do you see? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We did use it earlier. Okay, I'm using basic gray on Whisper White cardstock for our sentiment. Anything is possible. And I want to do, I think this calls for a little decorative end. So I'm just trying to center that from the back side. Eve says to cover up the flying crane. It's kind of hard unless I use the sentiment. I don't know if I like that. Okay, 1 vote for gray, 1 vote for soft succulent, 2 for soft succulent, 3 for soft succulent, 2 for gray, 3 for gray, 4, 5 for soft succulent, 4 for gray. Evening evergreen. Oh gosh, you guys, I think we're about tied. We're about even. I'm gonna go with the gray because we already have the soft succulent so in the paper, so I think it's kind of nice to have a little bit of difference in there. Oh, that covers that up, doesn't it? Let me make that straight. Do you know what I think might be nice is to bring in some of the soft succulent ribbon as just kind of a nice little accent. So let me grab some of that. This ribbon is beautiful, very satiny. Big piece of tape to hold my ribbon on the roll. How about that? I don't know. Okay, so there's supposed to be clouds, but what if we turn it over and we cover that? Does it still look like clouds this way? Is this a way for us to get that crane covered up? I need a longer piece. Tell me what you think about the upside down clouds. Is that ridiculous or is it a good solution? Eve says yes. Okay. I think it works because the crane, like, you know, it's not flying in the clouds anyway. And then we can add our dragonflies and we don't have that weird like size difference going on. Okay. Yes, Becky, I know. I think the reason that Stampin' Up! Doesn't have the big scissors is that, you know, it's one of those things where people can get cheaper elsewhere. And so like it just doesn't make sense for us to carry something that is so easy you know, to get, and people do. It might have been a sales thing too, if they just weren't selling well. Or I know another reason they discontinue products is when things just, like sometimes the manufacturing is an issue and they're not able to manufacture things the way that they were. We need some polished dots, so I'm going to get those out. I'm grabbing my embellishment box. These polished dots that go with this suite are on sale. So if you like the look of these, they're clear dots and then sort of like a light petal pink. And I think that this little bit of pink is just the bit of color that we need on this card. So we're going to add those. It's time to glue down. So let's get some glue going on here. We've got our bit of mother of pearl designer paper, and this is about 1 inch by 4.5, I think is what we ended up with. And so that's going to go over here on the side, and then it is going to get partially covered up by the designer paper. Oh, that side is pretty. Now that I just put adhesive on it. I do like that other side too. So this is going to go over here, and hopefully that mother of pearl is kind of centered. It's a little bit shorter than the designer paper. A little bit of ribbon to cover up our bird and kind of also reintroduce that that soft succulent color. Whenever making a card, I always like to try to use a color more than once, and so the soft succulent is used in the designer paper and then also a little bit in the ribbon. We're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to add the tag, which we struggled with, but we're able to give a decorative end. And that's going to go, I'm trying to line up the sides of those together. Our crane is also going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. This was fussy cut. If you're just joining us, this is fussy cut from the designer paper. And we're going to use maybe just a little mini as well at the bottom, mini dimensional. All right. I know sometimes I overkill. Actually, now that I put those mini dimensionals on, I'm realizing they may overlap with where I want to put that. So I did take one of them off, making sure to stay just barely inside the line there. I'm going to add the die cut and kind of overlap, I think, on that side. Or, oh, I don't know. I kind of like that side. I'm going to leave it there for a second while we're thinking. Meanwhile, glue dots is going to be the adhesive of choice to put the die cut dragonflies. And these are die cut from the designer paper, which I thought was really fun. So this is going to go, I'm going to kind of put these in the air like that. So what do you think about that die cut? Do you like it coming out over here? Or do we want to stick with it more over there? Yeah, I do like it over the saying a little bit. Okay, on this one, I think I'm going to use a little liquid glue. This does have some slits in it as well. That's sort of part of the die cut design. So it's not meant to die cut that out. It just adds a little bit of extra detail and texture. So it's going to go over there. And then we can add our polished dots. So we've got the clear and the sort of champagne or petal pink color. And I think that just adds some really beautiful color to the card. Oh, that fell right off. There is our finished card. Oh, I love the way this turned out. This was card number 3. If you're just joining, we started with the slim sayings and the slim card dies, along with the hand-penned petals stamp set, this one for the flowers. And then we did something a little simpler using the Abstract Beauty note cards and envelopes, and ephemera pack. And this one came together really easy, a lot of die cut elements and just stamping a sentiment. And then this one was sort of in between. We used some of the designer paper, the crane of fortune, symbols of fortune paper, and some of the die cuts and mother of pearl paper, some of the ribbon and polished dots as well. Now, everything that we used, the slim saying dies, the ephemera pack, the cards and envelopes, the designer paper, the mother of pearl, the dies, they're all on sale in this last chance sale. These are all items that are in the January through June mini catalog, which is retiring. You can get these deals while supplies last in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop, up to 50% off 30 different items, including the ones that I showed you today. So I hope that these cards inspired you, whether you're going to go shopping and pick up some of these deals, or maybe you have these items at home, or just want to try some of these layouts and techniques that I shared. I hope that you're inspired. Please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed tonight's stamp therapy session. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my page on Facebook so you don't miss out on future posts. In the next 48 hours, I will be sharing an unboxing video showing you brand new product that's coming out in the July through December mini catalog. If you're a customer of mine, you should be receiving that catalog in the next week or two in the mail. Could be closer to the end of June, but I know you're going to love all this stuff that's coming out, and I can't wait to give you a little sneak peek coming up. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you next time for another card making video. Take care.